How's it going, guys? Cameron here is Canadian Gamer coming at you with another video. We are in the midst of a dry spell right now as far as YouTube content is concerned. I'm not seeing a lot of good content being put out there right now. A lot of the channels that I watch on a daily basis, I guess maybe it's just the winter blues. Maybe people are busy. I don't know, but I feel like it's my due diligence to put out a video here to help anyone out who's starving for content. Not that my content is anything to write home about, but it's just my little contribution to the community, to the gaming community. So, something I've been meaning to talk about over the last couple of weeks, I just haven't had the time to really, I guess, go in on it. Now's as good a time as any. I want to talk about the original Xbox, and specifically, I want to talk about the hardware. So, a lot of you guys, you probably recall, if you go to the thrift store quite often, or if you have over the years, it doesn't seem like that long ago you could go into a thrift store, a pawn shop, and you could find an original Xbox. Now, I'm not saying that's still not the case, because I have come across original Xboxes here and there, but it's not how it was several years ago. I can find a PS2 all day. There's never going to be any difficulty finding a PS2, especially a slim model PS2. You don't really see GameCubes out in the wild these days at the thrift store, but I think that just has to do with, again, collector's mentality. It's not that GameCubes are necessarily rare, it's just there's people hoarding them within their households. So, with regards to the original Xbox, it's no secret the console's had some reliability issues over the years, and that's putting it mildly. From the clock capacitor that, if you don't replace or remove, will basically leak all over the motherboard and potentially kill the console, to disk drive issues as well. And I've had both issues on my first original Xbox that I still have. And I've got a second Xbox that I picked up a couple of years ago, and I know it's time to open it up and remove the clock capacitor, because now when I turn on the console, occasionally it's asking me to enter in the date and time, so that's not good. So there's reliability issues. So even though, again, 24 million of these were produced, there's certainly not 24 million in existence today. A lot of them got destroyed, thrown out, you name it. So again, I'm not gonna sit here and say the original Xbox is a rare console, but what I will say is time isn't on the original Xbox's side. So what I mean by that is, as the years go by, more and more of these consoles are going to die, and it's going to become, at some point, a bit of a hard to find console, if you will. That's my opinion. It might take a couple of years, but honestly, I'm not seeing too many of them out in the wild that are in perfect working order. Emulation is on the rise. Original Xbox emulation does exist. There's going to come a point where you can take your original Xbox games and you could probably just pop them into a disk drive on a computer and play them that way, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Again, it's a little bit more reliable than using the original hardware. Not everybody has the space to hook up an original Xbox to, like, say, a CRT TV and have the complete setup, if you will. But I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on it. Original Xbox popularity, we've seen a little bit of a spike, with the backwards compatibility program with the Xbox One and the Xbox Series consoles. And we're seeing more and more content creators putting out videos lately talking about how nobody seems to be talking about the original Xbox. Now's the time to collect for the original Xbox. So don't even get me started on the games for the original Xbox. When you go out in the wild now, yeah, you can find the commons out there, but the heavy hitters, good luck. It's hard to find an original Xbox that's in good working order, and I'm just not seeing them out in the wild. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just an issue with original Xboxes in Ontario. But I'm just not seeing a whole hell of a lot of them out there in the wild. So I don't know if there's just a spike because of collectors having interest in the original Xbox. Maybe that's it as well. But there's no denying there's some severe hardware issues with the original Xbox. As much as I love the Xbox, if you own one, I hate to say this, but it's not if it's going to start acting up or potentially dying on you, but when. So that's going to do it for this video, a little bit of a rant. Let me know your comments below. Until next time, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a good night.